our two principals, the two presidents. There are so many areas of cooperation, there are so many areas of collaboration and partnership, and they have given us mandates as embassies, both of Botswana to Zimbabwe, as well as of Zimbabwe to Botswana, to make sure that we articulate ourselves as much as possible towards contributing to making the two countries to transform. Gone are the days whereby we have to be relying on Western countries to be giving us handouts. And I like the mantra of His Excellency Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa of saying that the same mantra is it's just that maybe we are not using the same words. Our president, in his reset agenda, has introduced several policies of Timoletloto. Timoletloto is what do I say? Agriculture is wealth, if I may say so. It is divided into two. There is Timoletloto and Tuoletloto. So arable agriculture is wealth, and pastoral agriculture is wealth. And these are the recent policies that have just been introduced of late. And they are all meant to make each and every citizen, wherever they are, to know that food security is core.
In Botswana, Zimbabwe, and how best can they be translated?
Yes, first and foremost, you'll find that the root cause of the I don't want to say problem, but the root cause of the challenges on the ground is poverty. And our governments, even communities, everyone is willing and ready to find ways of eradicating poverty around themselves. And I'll most of the time concentrate on people at the grassroots level, the remote areas. And the only way in which they can do it is by engaging into ventures that would generate income, so that you can be able to shop and buy. We see cross-border activities that are mainly carried out by small traders, or I should say informal traders, who go across the board. They will be selling sweet potatoes, mangoes, this and that. Others who are knitting, they will be trading between. They activate trade at that level between the two countries, and that alone, though it eradicates poverty, it also comes with its own challenges. There are cross-border crimes, obviously. Even in the homestead, you'll find there's a loyal child and there's a delinquent and troublesome kids.
Yeah.
So our countries are doing very, very well to promote trade, despite the fact that there are challenges. And we've had within the past few months, including during the binational commission between Botswana and Zimbabwe that was held in Maun recently, that part of the discussions were anchored around the ways in which the two countries will enable to facilitate free or easy movement, relaxed movement of goods and services, relaxed movement of persons between these two countries. And that those movement of goods and services, obviously, it's there, around trade. They are focusing on trade. We've seen the First Lady of the Republic of Zimbabwe, going out to the rural areas, interacting with women, interacting with the youth, interacting with even male, and encouraging them to engage on several projects in several sectors. There is this gastronomy competitions that are normally taking place yearly. We've seen this First Lady being so robust in encouraging people at the rural areas to come up with industries that are going to support them through gastronomy. We've seen her engaged in agri-for-she programs, which our First Lady came benchmarked. Right now, during her visit, we even went to an extent of visiting the rural areas in Mashonaland East, where she found women being able to manufacture peanut butter, manufacturing beverages out of natural resources, peanut butter out of groundnuts, beverages out of baobab. And we have copied. My First Lady, she specifically said, we don't mind being copycats. And so long as we know that we are copying for the right reason and copying the right things. Right now, after this interview, I'm sure we'll go just behind within the yard. We've had with the interaction with the Innovation Hub at the University of Zimbabwe, whereby they were assisting us to get the machinery that is fabricated by locals in Zimbabwe. And this machinery is supposed to be sent home to go and commission groups of women at rural areas who are going to be doing value addition, value chain products that are generating income for themselves. Established the women empowerment policy that is specifically taking care of that. And most of our women in our country are engaged in cooperatives, especially at rural areas, whereby they come gather together into groups of from 5 upwards to approximately even 100 or more, and they engage in projects that government is also supporting in terms of giving them the technical know-how, giving them skills, as well as auditing them and developing them, or guiding them in business business acumen, so that they can be able to run those businesses. And they don't necessarily have to be migrating to towns. They are doing those at village level, and as a result they are able to earn income. We know that generally when a child cries out, he says mother. So mothers are they make sure that kids have eaten, kids have gone to school, they make sure that the health of the of the family is catered for. So these programs are meant to make life to be more comfortable, more easier, more manageable for women.
And in that context of, for example, rural industrialization and making life more manageable, do you know in which fields? Could it be agricultural village or goat keeping, goat rearing, or what context of cooperatives are they in?
Botswana, like any other country, is mainly dependent on agriculture at the core. At rural villages, you find that there is a intensive, not commercial farming, whereby women do have, though they have where they call, what is the homestead?
Yes, like the homestead.
And homestead, and then kumunda.
Yes, kumunda.
And then they go to kumunda, where they are doing their subsistence farming. and that is meant to cater first for the household, so that they can be able to eat. They should not go hungry because no one is working, or maybe those who are working have not been able to send them income. So
the areas which probably would need more investment to unlock more trade opportunities.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that question. Nowadays we speak free movement of goods and persons throughout the continent. We've seen this working within the European Union and other Western countries. So we're saying, why can't we do it? Yeah. We've seen our country, our presidents, our leaders encouraging, the public, or citizens, that there's need for free movement. We need to scrap off all these stringent measures that are impeding or hindering people from easily moving between the two borders. And by so doing, it's going to obviously support intertrade. And it will be, those are some of the preparedness areas for intra-Africa regional or intra-Africa trade. And I see these two countries with this activated activities of trade between them, getting ready to be also masterminds within the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Because if Zimbabwe come out, I'll give you an example of nowadays we emphasize more on economic diplomacy, and we're encouraging partnerships between the two countries. And Zimbabwe obviously is highly advanced in skilled manpower, industries. Had it not been for the sanctions, illegal sanctions, I should be saying illegal sanctions, Zimbabwe would be, far. You know that from long back it has been named or referred to as the breadbasket of Africa. And we still can benefit a lot as neighboring countries, as the SADC region, and as bilaterally between the two countries. When we partner, we would like to see these industries, as we see government making a lot of effort in resuscitating industries, extending their operations beyond the borders of Zimbabwe, and even spreading within the region. If you remember very well, when I was presenting my credentials, I want to say Botswana, yes, she is doing well, but we should remember that no one is an island. We right now have MOUs that we have signed with Zimbabwe as in our bilateral relations and cooperation. And some of those are in agriculture, tourism, all these sectors. And at the end of it all, they are meant to provide, like in agriculture, to provide food security. Yeah, so we have a lot of exchange programs that are guided by those MOUs as the frameworks that we engaged in as neighboring countries. And Botswana has been doing so well. We have MOUs in livestock, which is also trying to protect vulnerable communities that are along shared borderlines. We know that as Africans, we depend on livestock farming, we depend on arable farming. So our two countries are working hand in hand, and are very much advanced in quite number of areas that are related to protecting our communities against losing what they have, that would generate food security, would generate income, would generate a better livelihood for them. So I want to appreciate that our two governments are really robust in collaborating and partnering in issues that are going to sustain the livelihoods of people right from the grassroots level. Yes, yeah.
So now
intentionally mentioned that by coming here, I would like to see a Botswana embassy working hand in hand with the government of Zimbabwe through foreign affairs in making Zimbabwe and Botswana to be the regional free investment and trade centers. It is possible. It's very, very possible because you are endowed with minerals, both of us as Botswana and Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe has got high skilled manpower. And why can't we take advantage of those resources that we have and the knowledge-based economy that Zimbabwe has and partner to develop our two countries and penetrate the market, the regional market, as well as the continental and international market. Yes. So resources to come up with foodstuffs, beverages, and traditional medicinal elements, cosmetics. Yes. So you will find that the way our governments are working at nowadays is that even if you are far from town, you should not feel as if you are neglected. You should be seeing life being able to sustain you where you are, and that also helps in curbing issues of migration to urban areas and leaving our villages neglected. Yes.
So when we
although the percentages have not been high, we know that South Africa within the region is a cosmopolitan. Obviously, she has been taking higher numbers. But our interaction and bilateral relations between Botswana and Zimbabwe have proved of recent times. I'll quote since 2018 when our two leaders were coming into power, that we've seen the trade interaction between the two countries really being activated, and not just facing on entrepreneurship, but trade across or diversified through other sectors of the economy, through agriculture, through education, through health, and other sectors.
So primarily
the interaction of these first ladies, we see that women can benefit a lot, and women can change even the status quo of the economy and contribute towards the gross economic domestic product of our economies.
So it takes a